WWE is making a big mistake with Jade Cargill. Seriously, are you kidding me, WWE? We have one of the biggest potential stars in the entire industry in Jade Cargill, and it feels like they are speed running their way to ruining her momentum. Okay, we need to talk about SmackDown this week because on paper, WWE is giving us a massive main event level match. Tiffany Stratton is set to defend her women's championship against Jade Cargill. Sounds great, right? A big fight for a Friday night. But I'm here to tell you why this match happening right now is a colossal mistake that does a huge disservice to Jade Cargill and is a perfect example of lazy, short-sighted booking. Let's get a quick recap, if we will. Just last month, at SummerSlam, we had a big showdown between these two. It was the Storm versus Tiffy Time, and in the end, it was Tiffany Stratton who shockingly went over clean and retained her championship. It was a big moment for Tiffany and a significant loss for Jade, her major first setback in a championship match in WWE. Fast forward, last week's episode of SmackDown, where it was just casually announced, oh, hey, we're just going to run this back next week. The champion, Tiffany, just full of her usual confidence, promised to, and I'm quoting here, stick her foot up Jade's butt and beat her again, just like she did at SummerSlam. Classic Tiffany. Why is this a major mistake? Well, now, I'm not saying that the match itself will be bad. Both of them are incredibly talented, and I'm sure the in reaction will be fine. My problem is with this match. It's with the story, or rather the complete lack of one. WWE has made a huge mistake here by not taking the time to rebuild Jade Cargill as a worthy challenger. In doing so, they booked her in a corner where she has absolutely no chance of winning. Think about it. When a top-tier superstar loses a major championship match, what's supposed to happen next? They're supposed to go on a journey, a redemption arc. They need to show some frustration, maybe a crisis of confidence, and then claw their way back to the top. Jade Cargill is a babyface, after all. They should have to go through another top contender. Maybe have a dominant performance or two to remind the audience and the champion why they're in the title picture in the first place. It's wrestling storytelling 101. What has Jade Cargill done since losing at SummerSlam? Nothing. She hasn't had another feud. She hasn't gotten a string of dominant wins. She hasn't cut a fiery promo about why she deserves another shot. She's just getting another shot because the calendar flipped over to a next week. And I guess it just makes her look like a less than top contender and more like someone just getting a handout. Also, it shows you WWE has a serious lazy booking issue. And that leads us to the biggest problem of them all. We all know how this is going to end. There is a 0% chance that WWE is going to be taking the title off of their hot champion, Tiffany Stratton, just 1 month after she won and beat Jade Cargill at SummerSlam, a significantly higher profile show. Right? SmackDown, this is just a random episode of SmackDown. We're on the journey to WrestlePalooza. So no, there is not going to be a title change that happens. So what does this mean? It means Jade Cargill is going to lose again to the same person in back-to-back championships. This is incredibly damaging to her character. She was built up in AEW as this unbeatable dominant force. She came into WWE with that same aura, having her lose twice in a row to the same champion. That kills that aura. It tells the audience, yeah, she's good, but she's not on champion's level. Where does she go from here? She can't challenge for the title for a long time, and her credibility as a top-tier threat takes a massive hit. So, with all that negative, with all that complaining, what should WWE have done instead? It's so frustrating because the right way to look at this, the right way to book this was so simple and obvious. After SummerSlam, Jade should have been furious. She would have got a big-time promo about how she underestimated Tiffany, but vows to get back the title, and then you go and you have her go into a short yet dominant feud with someone on the roster that she can absolutely destroy. She goes and destroys a few more opponents over the next month or two. Reminds us that she is the Storm. Let her build her confidence. Let her build her momentum. Let her build up stock and that equity with the fan base of, oh, this chick is legit. Then, after she's reestablished as an unstoppable force, she can earn a number one contender spot and declare that she's ready for Tiffany Stratton in that women's title. Imagine how much bigger that rematch would have feel at a premium live event down the road with a proper story of redemption behind it. It would have been unpredictable. It would have mattered. Instead, we're getting a rushed, cold rematch on television that exists for one reason: fill 15 minutes of airtime and have Tiffany just beat someone. This is a classic case of sacrificing long-term storytelling and character development for a cheap 1-week rating. It's a big mistake, and unfortunately, it's something that Jade Cargill's character is going to have to pay the price for. But hey, that's just my take. Am I overreacting? Do you think that WWE is fumbling the ball with Jade Cargill? Let me know down what you think in the comments here below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more wrestling analysts, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss another rant about Jade Cargill. I don't understand. First of all, that announcement kind of flew under the radar because it's like, oh, well, we're having this thing, we're having that thing next week. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And then we move it along, and it's like, wait a minute. We're doing what now? You think this is a good idea? Seriously? I don't understand. Like, the only thing that comes to mind for me is WWE was like, look, we don't have another contender lined up for Tiffany. We need something big for this SmackDown episode. WrestlePalooza is pretty much filled at this point, although they could add more. Let's just book it on SmackDown. SmackDown is a really bad show. They had a great one a week ago. I'll give them props for that. But obviously, it helped. They were in Chicago. You had Brock Lesnar. You had AJ Lee. They all appeared, right? So now they're trying to jumpstart this brand, and I appreciate and support their idea that, hey, we understand SmackDown's a cold brand. Hey, we got to do something to get this show kind of jump started again. So let's do this. But at the same time, it's like, I guess you could do like a main event and have Tiffany beat Jade, but like their SummerSlam match went 7 minutes. Like, I don't know. Are they really going to get more time than 7 minutes on the show? I would hope so, especially if you're the main event. But like, I don't know what to expect from this match. I mean, look, I guess you could make the argument of, hey, let's have them on SmackDown. Let's have them do a schmoz. Let's do a double DQ, double count out, whatever you want to do. And then you can like rematch again. You can have the third match at WrestlePalooza. I guess you could do that, but like, by the time that this week's episode of SmackDown rolls around, we're a week out from WrestlePalooza. We're 8 days out. So I don't know. WWE's booking is usually very predictable. I don't understand this one. Do not understand this one, but they're going with it. They're going with it. Whether I like it or not, WWE is going with it, and we'll see how it all plays out. But I shake my head at it.